Hey everybody, this is LVO Tour of the Fancy Action Now. How are you? How are you? It's crazy, man. World's gone crazy. That's all I have to say is world's gone crazy. I actually popped the chat out for this one. Looks like we're live, and the topic of this video is what's on the game table, baby, for August 2020. I'm probably going to do a Game Pass look and see what's out there. But I wanted to let you know a couple of things that are going on in my gaming life. In my gaming life. In my gaming life. In my gaming life. And sharing it to enhance your gaming life. Your gaming life. Your gaming life. Okay. So, with that weirdness resolved, let's go ahead and take a look at what's going on over here. Wow. All right. So, story time. So, my daughter and I found a possum skull behind the condenser of my mother's air conditioner. But that's another story that we'll talk about later. I had to go to St. Pete, and I stopped in a Goodwill where I was just like, I don't know. I have that feeling. I have that intuition, that powerful intuition that, you know, and you know what's funny is, I'm kind of resetting up my light gun setup with this it's really a nice Sony CRT. It's huge. It's honking big. It's more of a square ratio. It's like a big square. It's not like, it's not like a rectangle. It's almost like a perfect square. Almost like, one of those professional old CRT TV broadcasting, not used for folks, but it was more of a commercial, like, it kind of, but it's a commercial TV, but it looks like it's based on that. It only has like it's got a couple composite and one component outlet in it, or bay or whatever you want to call it. And so it's kind of resetting up light guns. See, another things I should have brought in here is hardware. I never do hardware on this channel. I never well, yeah, I do, but it's not often. So I got an additional Xbox Mad Catz light gun. The green one with this, looks like it's a little clip, and it does GunCon 1, 2, and 3. That kind of thing. Well, it doesn't, not for that system, but it does, like, if there are official light guns, it imitates those. It doesn't really emulate, it imitates. So mainly for House of the Dead 3 on the original Xbox, and I kind of wanted my daughter and I to get together and play that. And I only had one gun, so I bought a second gun, and her and I did wind up playing House of the Dead 3 together. And we had a fun time with that. So again, with the weirdness that we're living through, it's like I'm always trying to find something a little interesting that is close to home, or something in the house, or something with gaming that we can do together, because we both like gaming. Again, I got her a Switch. I got her, she has the Pokemon game, the latest one, Sword and Shield, for the Switch, and so. I just got her that for her birthday, which just occurred at the end of July. So she games, and I'm a gamer, of course. So occasionally I try to pull her into like what I game, what I like. So I thought, what better than a light gun game, right? So I thought to myself, okay, I'm going to set everything back up. So I set up the Xbox for my daughter and myself, and we played House of the Dead 3 with the additional light gun I got that works fine. Got it off eBay. Works fine. So I got two Mad Catz Xbox light guns. And I like those Mad Catz guns. We all have our little preferences, but they work really good, so I'm happy with them. And then I had a blue version of that for the PlayStation 2, just one. And I just ordered a second one. And what I was thinking to myself is, I have in here in this studio, I have a fat PlayStation. I only have one fat PlayStation that I own. And I was thinking, man, I would like a second one so that I could put that with the second Xbox that I have just on light gun. See, I have one CRT out there that I have on a rolling stand, and it's an IKEA like Billy shelf, like 4 compartment, and I put wheels on it so you can move that. You can actually roll around that monstrous CRT, and because they're so flippin' heavy. So I set up the Dreamcast underneath the Xbox. I have a little mini shelf in there, and I put the Dreamcast underneath that. And I have one Mad Catz Dreamcast light gun. That's the only circumstance where the Mad Catz is actually superior to the OEM light gun. That Mad Catz Dreamcast light gun is just outstanding. So I have all Mad Catz light guns. It's now I have a light gun for the 3DO, believe it or not, a Mad Dog McCree, like a revolver type light gun that I've never actually used. I've never actually used that bad boy, but I do have light gun games for the 3DO, so you can go burn whatever ones you want too. I don't know, is Area 51 on 3DO? I kind of think it is. Or Lethal Enforcers, something like that. Lethal Enforcers or Area 51, I believe, is on 3DO. I'll have to look it up. But so I did order a second blue PlayStation light gun because I stopped off at Goodwill. And what was really funny is, like, after my daughter and I played House of the Dead 3, I'm like, well, I want to set up my PlayStation light gun on this shelf or rack or whatever you want to call it. And I'm like, I really wish I could run into another PlayStation Fat. And what's really funny is before the lockdowns and all this other nonsense that went on, I was finding them at this one particular Goodwill like every other week. They were having 2 and 3 of them, and I'm like, I don't know. And they price them around $25 or like $24.98. So and they've disappeared. Like, all game systems have just disappeared from everywhere, with the very few exceptions. So I went ahead and found one, and it was priced $25. And I'm like, well, let me plug it in and let's see what we're dealing with here. And lo and behold, it works. Right. So I couldn't hook it up to a TV, but at least, it opened, it closed, the drawer came out, the lights were working. And I'm like, well, probably you're taking a $25 chance, but you've mitigated as much risk as you possibly could. Now I thought to myself, and there was a guy, he was a Latin guy. He reminded me of like, maybe because I've been to Costa Rica, it reminded me of a Costa Rican guy that I know down there, and he's very cool, but he like slid up to me almost like on my 6, bro, and he's like, oh, you're getting a video game? And I said, yeah, man, I'm probably gonna grab this one. And I go, what do you want to bet it's got a game in there? He goes, yeah, man, it probably does, why don't you check? Because he was sitting there talking to me while I was testing it, and he goes, oh, what is that, a 2 PS2? And I said, oh, he's like, oh, he thought it might be in like a more like updated system, but he was just kind of, his enthusiasm died as soon as he understood what system it was. Ironically, that is why my enthusiasm was very high. But so, hey, Tylord, I recently got back to get. Oh, let me see what this man says. Let me see what Tylord says. I got to widen up the chat window a little bit so I can actually read what this man said. What's your take on light gun shooters on Wii? I recently got Mad Dog McCree and the House of the Dead. Tylord, it's really funny that you asked that because I'm thinking that I'm going to start getting more targeted in my collecting. And I just watched a Gaming Off the Grid on Wii light guns. They're like big Wii light gun fans, and they're like light gun fans in general. They're like pro level on that shit, and I'm like gifted amateur at this point. So no, I think they're totally worth it. I would get the Mad Dog McCree's. I would get the House of the Deads. I don't own the Wii House of the Dead 2 and 3. And I don't own House of the Dead Overkill on Wii. I own it on PS3. It is the better version. That's why I got that version. When I heard about that game, I'm like, oh my God, I got to play that thing. But get it. Like House of the Dead Overkill, oh my God. Yeah, I would get them all, bro. And I would play that House of the Dead Overkill like immediately. But like if you just got it, I would play it immediately. But not with Grandma. If Grandma comes over, don't play. Grandma not like that. So yeah. Oh, I think there's a ton. I have a ton of light gun games. Some rare ones too. I have some rare ones on the Wii. And, and I would actually have to, but I've got Ghost Squad. I've got like Operation Terror. That's one of the rare ones. I found that in the wild too. But it's funny that you mentioned that. I want to go over. I have one of the Resident Evil ones, but I don't have the other one. I have the better one of the Resident Evil ones, and I forget their names right off the top of my head, but I have quite a few light gun games over there. I do have Sin and Punishment. There's a few. I'm trying to think of any other ones. I have all the ones that like are shooting gallery kind. I got Chicken Shoot. I got a bunch of them. Yeah, I got a bunch of them. So I was thinking of recently because Tylord, it's like one of those things where it's actually quite attainable, and I like that. Like I was thinking of getting getting all of the Fatal Frames. I want to get all the Fatal Frames. Let's see what he says here. I really want the Hulk Hogan Thunder in Paradise on rail shooter. I forgot if it's 3DO or CDI. Oh my God, it's Philberto 78. What the hell is going on with you, fellow? So yeah, man, we're talking about Wii Light Gun, and like he asked me about light gun games. I told him I just watched a Gaming Off the Grid, and they had like all of the major Wii light gun games, and like what are your games of entry kind of thing, and they had a bunch that I don't have, and House of the Dead 1 and 2 is one of them. House of the Dead Overkill is another one. But I have House of the Dead Overkill for PS3, which is just a rollicking ride. It's just absolutely mind-bending. But, I'm thinking of getting all of the rest of like a mini collection. I'm thinking of like my next target is going to be all Wii light gun games that I do not currently have. And that's an attainable goal. Like that's something that within like a few months or a month or two that I can probably scrape together the funds to get all of that. They are cheap at GameStop, or were. Yeah, were is the operative. Nothing's that, well, occasionally. So yeah. So anyway, back to my original story, Tylord. So I found a PS2 Fat at Goodwill, and I opened it up. When I tested it, I opened it up, and guess what was in there? A light gun game. What are the odds? I mean, what are the odds, man? So this is a really good light gun game. I popped it in. I played it immediately when I came home. And it's super good. It's super good. It's these games are tough too. They are freaking tough. Yeah, so I got a free game in there, and I didn't own this one. I have Time Crisis games, but I don't really have that many, to be honest. I need to. Oh, I have my phone here. Let me look up at what I've currently got. I don't even have this in the collection yet. Let's see. Hi, everybody on live TV. I'm looking at my gaming crap. Let's see. If I put in Time Crisis. Okay. So I have Time Crisis Crisis Zone, which is the spinoff. I have Time Crisis Raising Storm. That's the PS3 like triple effect, where you get Raising Storm, Time Crisis 4, I think, and Dead Hand Pirates or some crap, which is very good. Oh, and then I just have regular Time Crisis 4 for the PlayStation 3. And those are all good. But I didn't have Time Crisis or Time Crisis 2, but now I've got just the disc of Time Crisis 2, and I have to see if maybe somebody's got like a case and a manual for sale. But wow, so I was looking for a PS2 to play light guns, and I found a PS2 with a light gun game that I didn't have. So I ordered I figured that was Providence, and I ordered another blue light gun, Mad Catz light gun for the PS2. I was actually thinking about PS2 light gun games the other day too. Ha ha! Another coincidence. Yeah, that's bizarre, bro. That's like something in the ether that we're all picking up on. So, I played Time Crisis 2 and had myself a ball. Now, Philberto, Tylord, this is a game, and I'm going to go out there to the entire gameverse, the universe of gaming. I want to recommend this bad boy. Now, this one was recommended by Radical Reggie on a Metal Jesus collaboration video, and it is really cool. Yes, it can be. Dead Aim can be played with a mouse. And that's one I'm looking at too. See, PS2 light gun games and Wii light gun games. I think I'm going to go through a light gun acquisition phase because those are cool. I have so much fun with those. The only problem is, like, I don't like to sit down and play those. I like to stand and play those. And I have a setup where it's okay. It just, I get tired out. Like my legs get tired. I get like cramps after a while. I like play and play and play, and I get that arcade sweat and my legs are sore. I don't know. Is that good for you? So I don't like to sit on a couch and do light gun. I like to be up on my feet. Is everybody like that? Are you a stander or a sitter? Remember when that came out with the whole peeing thing? Are you a stander or a sitter? I'm a stander, by the way. All right, so I want to recommend this light gun game to the entire gaming community, every single person that watches this video, and every subscriber on my channel. I want to make a recommendation for this. Endgame. Now, this is not a complete copy. I kind of got shanghaied. They said it was a complete copy, and it wasn't. It wasn't a bad price, but this is a light gun game that's like a kind of an espionage game, and it plays just like Time Crisis does, but it's got a very fast-moving story. And it's very like schlock Hollywood, where she's a woman and she gets a call, and she's a reporter or something like that. She gets a call from somebody who winds up getting killed on the phone or something like that, and it's like, get the gun that's behind your refrigerator. Very, very homage to the Godfather movies, Godfather 2. And she goes and gets the gun, and then you have to fight off police and security to get out of there, and you go through a subway, and then you go to a like a corporate building, and there is a time factor. You are given for each multiple levels, you get a certain fixed amount of time to play through multiple areas. So if you're not efficient, you find yourself at the end of the area with no time left, and they just off you. They just they kind of give you I think they give you a few chances, but then they just kind of off you. So this is a very unsung PS2 light gun game, and Radical Reggie recommended it. I picked it up. I thought I was getting a complete copy, But I'll work on that. I do. But this is really good. I mean, this is a really enjoyable light gun game. It kind of reminds me of like what was that? What's that one on Dreamcast? Project Confidential or Confidential Agent or I forget. It was Confidential something. It's not LA Confidential, but it's like something confidential. And it reminds me of that, but it's very good. So if you are looking for something a little bit different, a little, not a time crisis necessarily, but something a little different, this is actually quite good. So I recommend Endgame, light gun game. You wouldn't even know it's a light gun game. I don't think a lot of people know about this one. So thank you, Radical Reggie. All right, there you go. I'm a sitter. That's funny, bruh. Oh my God, bruh. Brooklyn 99 is pretty awesome. Nice. It's Baltimore Retro Gaming. So we have 3 of the Fedekine Elite in this chat right now. It is unfreaking believable. Baltimore Retro Gaming, you are a treasure of the ages, brother. Brother! You live in one of the most dangerous places on earth, and he delivers packages and shit. I'm like, God damn, bro, your balls. You're like sweaty balls, bro. You're brass balls. All right, so now I went into the collection. Don't mind sitting with a leg gun, but I like to stand with a joystick. Oh my God, bro. That guy is a comedian. He's a closet comedian. He's come out of the closet and be a real comedian. All right, so Call of Duties, okay? 2 Call of Duties. By the way, I love that Cold War, baby. I'm excited about that. But anyway, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I wound up making like a History Channel video when I watched that Cold War trailer. I thought, I'm going to make a quick trailer. It's going to be 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes of the outside. It wound up being almost a half an hour video because I can't shut up. Anyway, so 2 Call of Duty games that I've played recently that I never played before. One of them is Advanced Warfare. This is the one with this guy in it. It's okay. It's okay. I played it on the 360, and it's pretty good. It was pretty good, but I'd never played it. But what I found out is, yeah, man. Yeah, wow. It was like, you are at war. It takes 15 years to destabilize a country. First, we demoralize you. I'm like, listening to that guy, it's like, stop hurting us. Anyway, stop infiltrating our country, please. So anyway, Call of Duty Advanced Warfare. I found out when I pulled it down, I'm like, I've never played it. Let me play it. And it turns out that I was missing the disc. In my copy, I had a Modern Warfare 2 disc in there. Like, I had the first disc. Like, I had this disc. I had this one. Sorry, hold on one moment. There you go. I had this one, but I didn't have this one. I didn't have the actual game disc. I had a Modern Warfare 2 in there, and I'm like, oh, come on. Come on, what was I, drunk? So anyway, I ordered a copy, because I'm like, well, I got it in the collection. I'm just missing a disc. Let me get a disc, and I got a disc. So now I had a complete copy of this, and I played it, and it's okay. It's pretty good. Not my favorite. Now, the other Call of Duty I played for the first time this month is Infinite Warfare. Now, this game was right up my street. It's got a like a theme park zombies mode, which is really, really cool. And then it's got a lot of dogfighting, a lot of space combat, a lot of space kind of sim fighter combat, and it gets a lot of hell. I mean, this game got so much hell. Infinite Warfare got so much hell. I think it's a great game. And you see, the funny thing is with this one, I'm a Wing Commander fan. I'm a Space Combat fan. So this game was like somebody made a Call of Duty for me. And you've got a kill board, and you've got aces that you need to fight and destroy, and I killed them all. But it had a good story, and it's a beautiful game to look at. And it ran flawlessly on the Xbox One. It was just gorgeous when you're like on the ice moon by Saturn, and you're running a mission, and I'm like, even the opening of the game is like an incredible visual tour de force. And so is the whole rest of the game when you're running through the city, when, the invasion takes place and they undermine the security. And I'm like, I had a great time. Now I watched a review of this where he's like, yeah, well, you just go and you watch a cinematic and they take away control. And then they give it back and they say, shoot these guys, and they take away control. And blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, bro, I don't know. I had a rollicking good time with this game. I highly recommend Call of Duty Infinite Warfare, particularly if you're a space combat fan. This is your Call of Duty, baby. This is probably one of my favorite Call of Duties of all time, Infinite Warfare. Believe it or not, it's gorgeous, too. It's gorgeous. Avengers Infinite Warfare, baby. I've never played a COD game. No, I believe that, bro. You are a specialist. You are a gaming operator, bro. You specialize in shooter and fighter goodness and import gaming. Yes. Do I believe you haven't played the American vanilla experience of Call of Duty? Yeah, I believe that. You're not missing anything amazing, Baltimore. They can be fun, though. True. And they can be visually stunning, and there's really cool moments. One of my favorite Call of Duty moments is that part where you're playing the Russian, the invasion of Stalingrad, and you're a conscript, and they stick you on a boat, and you're sailing across this river to take on the Nazis, and just people getting shot and killed on the boat. And there's some crazy good experiences in Call of Duty, man. Some game reviewers, I think, are very angry, sad folk. Some are very angry, sad folk, yes. All right, I also got, let's see. What did I get? Oh, yeah. I also picked up a copy, super cheap. And you know what? I left a copy of Red Dead Redemption 2 for $10. Should I pick that up? Ghost Recon Wildlands. So I'm going to be putting this in pretty soon. I understand that, Breakpoint is a complete shit show, but that this one is pretty good. And Bolivia got angry that their country was featured as some kind of drug-infested wilderness. Drug dealers and warlords and just, scum of the earth was in Bolivia, I guess. So, but yeah. Yes, I know. It was $10, and I took this and left Red Dead 2. It didn't have any paperwork, but it did have both discs. And I'm like, dude, I was literally like, am I really going to do that? And I'll probably go back. I'll probably go back and pick it up if it's still there, but it won't be. Oh, still haven't played Code Vein. Still haven't played it. I think that was shameful too. Turn in your badge and your gun. You're on suspension, Toro. All right, now here's a game that I'm going to recommend directly to Philberto and any racing game fans out there. Yeah, I know. And I found one. Just the discs and the case. Like the case and the artwork and the discs. Red Dead Redemption 2. Totally authentic. No little paper sleeve in there, though. For $10. And I left it. Are you insane, brother? Yeah, I should have left every other thing that I got there and took that. That's what I thought. I thought to myself, you should put back these Wii and PlayStation 2 filler games that you've got and this Breakpoint game. Because I was looking for Breakpoint. See, I wasn't looking for Red Dead. I was looking for Breakpoint, and I found one. And because of my budget at the time, I'm like, man, I can only afford one of these. I'm going to take the Breakpoint. And it was just like, Dude, that was a dumb move. Because I even looked it up, too. I looked it up. There's no excuse. There's no excuse, Your Honor. I looked it up on my phone, and I'm like, oh, this game even used is going for like 30, 40 bucks. And he's got a copy for $10 just with no like manual in it that nobody cares about. So, but don't let that situation take you away from this situation. Especially Filberto. Filberto, I want you to pay attention now because this game is ridiculous and it's addictive, and I'm amazed I'm not playing it right now instead of making YouTube videos because I was having a wonderful time. All right, it's Driver San Francisco. Driver San Francisco. It has got a gameplay mechanic where you at the beginning of the game, you're in an accident and you're in a coma. And while you're in the coma, you can literally project yourself into any car in the city. And it's a recreation of downtown San Francisco that is like pixel perfect. It is like super good. It is 360 graphics, but it's like some of the best city, like, you know, populated. It's completely populated with people. And it is just, there's Chinatown, Fisherman's Wharf. You have all of these unlockables, all of these missions. Of course, it's a Ubisoft game, so there's always a ton of crap to do, and you have all of these little races and challenges, and it's a driving guy's game. It really is. It's a driving person's game. And it plays great. You have all the cars are authentic cars, and you've got Audi and you've got Oldsmobile. You got Oldsmobile, you got Pontiac still. You got Pontiac Firebirds, and you can, buy them and upgrade them and all kinds of stuff. And there's a lot of Dodge and Ford. They got a Ford GT in there. You have to earn them and unlock them, but they're all in there, and you can still jack into them. You just can't own them. But it is this game right here. It's great, and it's got a funky musical soundtrack that's always playing some bumpin' funk. Bumpin' funk, baby. There you go. It's always playing some bumpin' funk. While you're driving around. It's just awesome. It's just awesome. Like, please do yourself a favor. If you're a driving fan or a car fan, get Driver San Francisco. I believe that was a Corleone recommendation back in the day in one of his 360 hidden gem must own. I believe that was in that group, but I seem to recall that. But this would be right. This would be a Corleone game for sure, man. So Filberto, highly recommend it. Can you run over hippies? You can pretty much run over everybody, but they're very talented in getting out of your way. Like when you try to hit people, they're very good at jumping out of your way. Ridiculously smart about it. So I'm sure you will notice that when you get it. But you do need to get that game, bruh. I've got it for both PS3 and for 360 now. I just got this, I don't know, a few days ago. And I'm like, man, I got to pop that in. And I'm glad I did. That game is freaking amazing. So Driver San Francisco, it's a lot of fun, bro. And it's like being in a 70s cop flick, but with better graphics and especially with some bump and funk. All things nerd. I got Elder Scrolls Online and the Morrowind sequel for $29 on Xbox One on Amazon. Nice. Okay. All right. Now here's the last one. This one's a little bit more obscure. This was in a very obscure Hidden Gems video. And it's different. I'm going to feature it on the channel at some point, possibly this week. This is BioArmor. Oh, it's BioArmor as in his stealth mode. All things nerd. This is BioArmor. Yeah, I keep forgetting that, bro. ATN. He created that account just so he could like give me another sub. Thank you, buddy. Thank you. I got Elder Scrolls Online and the Morrowind sequel for $29. That is not bad. You know, that is so much freaking gaming. That's the thing, man. As long as you have connectivity, you will never like dry that out, man. You'll never run out of crap to do. And it's good stuff. It's well scripted. It's well written. You got some really cool like epic raids and stuff like that. You'll never run out of stuff to do. That's awesome. So, okay, last game on the table. Last game on the table. Yeah! Here we go. It is This is Samurai Legend in the holofoil cover. Samurai Legend Musashi. Now, tell me that doesn't look like the main character from Kingdom Hearts. I mean, this is a Square Enix. This is a Square Enix game. They literally lifted this guy and put him in the, I don't know, what is that character's name again in Kingdom Hearts? I got the Darius Cosmic Collection in the mail yesterday. I'll open it on video this weekend. Big bucks. Nice! Woo! Dude, you are the smartest collector I think that I know. Like, your collection, because it's all like shooter gold. It's all gold, man. I have so much shit, and you have so much gold in like such a like relatively compared to the total units that I have. You're gonna be so much money, bro. You're gonna be so much money, BRG. You need to protect that collection, baby. So, this is Samurai Legend Musashi by Square Enix in the foil cover. There you go. Totally complete. Looks great. Looks amazing. So, yeah, I'm going to be throwing that in. I'm going to be throwing in that pretty soon. Because this is an obscure title. Very much like Endgame. This one's not on everybody's radar. So, it looks pretty good. You know, it's not, I don't know if I don't think I'd call it a classic, but it looks good. Isn't it Zora or Sora in Kingdom Hearts? But they took this guy, and this is Zora, basically. This is pre-Zora. So I can't believe I came up with that name. My subconscious is working overtime. My computer brain, it was just like, you filed an inquiry for the name of the character in Kingdom Hearts, even though you don't play it, have no interest in that series. Yeah, it's Zora. I'm like, huh? Yeah, Lost in Shadow is really good too. What is that crazy expensive one? I think Baltimore will know it. It's like Elemental Gearbolt is like crazy money. That one looks great though. It's an Atlas title. Goddamn Atlas. I mean, is any other developer's games worth more as a group? As a composite, is there any other gaming developer that has games that have value like Atlas? For freak's sake, Atlas. Everything they make is money. Not every game is good, but every game they make, it's just like, God dang, it's money. Of course you've got it, bro. Your collection, I got to tell you, if there's one guy that's going to retire on the collection money, it's you. It's you. Baltimore Retro Gaming, there's got to be some billionaire out there when you put your collection up on eBay and just say, hey, and you got to remember, this will be like when you retire, like so when you're 50. So I don't know how old you are, but that's probably going to be like 20 years from now. In 20 years when it's worth like its own museum at that freaking point, bro. Baltimore River. I mentioned one of the most expensive games you can collect for, which is Elemental Gearbolt. And God, I even forget it. It's a shooter, or I believe it's a shooter, but it's I thought it was a tactics game at first, but I don't recall. But Elemental Gearbolt. No, Elemental Gearbolt is actually a light gun game. I believe it's a light gun game. And that thing is just fucking stupid. Good. Yeah, it's a light gun game, Elemental Gearbolt. Do y'all want to see it? I can put it up on the screen. Y'all want to see Elemental Gearbolt? All Things Nerd. Yeah, that's a light gun game. And, of course, BioArmor knows it. You know what's funny about you guys, all you guys right now, and I have the opportunity to actually say these things right to you, which is awesome. I bring up a game. Baltimore owns it, and Bio knows about it. The Bio is the encyclopedia, and Baltimore is just like, yeah, I own that. You beautiful bastards. All right, somebody said something scandalous in the chat. Baltimore Retro Gaming, I told you about your language. Let's see, what do we have here? I'll sell my ass before I sell my shooters, bro. I want to be buried with that shit. Sorry, I'm like maxing the mic out. Are you going to be buried with the collection, bro? Are you going to have a game room as a tomb? Is that where it's headed? Is that where I'm headed? Am I going to buy a mausoleum and have my games and systems all hooked up around my casket? Dude, I want that. And I want a disco ball. And I want techno playing in my mausoleum. Okay. Working Designs made a gold version? Oh my God. Working Designs and Atlas, you bastards, you beautiful bastards. God dang it. It was part of a contest. Oh my God. Oh, do you want to see it? You want to see it? Filberto wants to see it. All right. Hold on. Let me see if I can get a screen cap on it. All right. Give me a sec. And then I'm going to get off of this thing and live a life. Elemental Gearbolt gameplay. Now you got to remember, this is PS1 Elemental Gearbolt. There's a long play video on here. What's the long play video? All right, here we go. All right, give me a sec. This is Elemental Gearbolt. Hold on, I'm going to shrink myself a little bit. This is PS1 era light gun game, Elemental Gearbolt. Probably the most collectible game, light gun game on PS1. Even more so than, what are those, God, what are those games? Those shooting gallery games? Point Blank? Isn't that Point Blank? God, my subconscious is firing on all cylinders these days. What is this, Vampire Hunter D, for fuck's sake? I'm sorry. That's a nice cinematic for PS1, bro. Now you know why it's like so collectible. It's literally a PS2 game on the PS1. And I'll tell you what, then we're gonna go out to eBay's and we'll see what this fucker is running. Not for kids. Dude, I just lost my monetization. I guess it's ramen noodles again tonight. Oh, were you thinking Vampire Hunter D? So was I. I mean, it's total Vampire Hunter D graphics. What do you want to bet the artist did it, you know? She's hotter than... Oh my god, do I want that bad boy. Okay. I sold a disc-only copy to one of my subscribers for $40 a few months ago. You rat bastard. You need to send me that. I'd given you an upcharge. I'd have given you $50. Nah, you should sell it to your sub. Make somebody happy, bro. That's awesome. I'm amazed you let go of that thing. Okay, let me move this video along so we're not just sitting here listening to this process. Dude, trust me, he doesn't let shit go. Drama show. Okay. This is like the best cinematic I've ever seen on a PS1 game. This is PS1, bruh. Whoever bought this back in the day, like an early adopter, bought this as like on a like, oh, what's this? I think I'll buy it. You lucky bastards.
I shudder to think that I am part of this.
This reminds me of Dark Wizard on the Sega CD as well. They had really good cinematics. And again, that was before PS1. Wow, this just became like this is a long cinematic for the PS1 too. Look at that shit. Have you seen the collection? I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. I almost don't want to see it. Like, I've thought about rolling up to Baltimore before the world went crazy and visiting BRG. Oh, panty shot. And I'm like, it's going to drive you insane, the beauty of that guy's collection. I still want to see it, though. I don't care. Oh, yeah? Nice. That game is very artistic. It's artistry. Oh, dang, girl. She's up to no good, and she's got her boobs out. Grieving Angel Descent. By the way, if any of you have seen... I'm going to brighten this up a little bit. Hold on one second. Right. Okay, I brought up the gamma a little bit. So this is Elemental Gearbolt, man. Light gun game for the PS1. Freaking amazing. Look at the screen tear, baby. Can't get away from it, bro. Gotta think about what this system is trying to do right now. Let's see, what did he say here? Just a closet filled to the brim with games you've never seen in the videos. Shit's ridiculous. If you got a Japanese PS1 or 2 or a chipped console, I recommend the Japanese version. It's easier to play and like $30. Not really, it is kind of unique, bro. Elemental Gearbolt is kind of unique. It kind of reminds me of like Sin and Punishment somewhat. But it literally is like a fantasy RPG light gun game. That's exactly what this is. Fantasy RPG light gun game. Can you name another one? again, the closest game that I can think of is like Panzer Dragoon, right? Which isn't really a light gun game. You know, it's its own creature, but it's very reminiscent of Panzer Dragoon. And then maybe the only thing I could think of that would be even close would be Sin and Punishment, the original Sin and Punishment. Well, that's good, brother. Moving sucks. You know, just every time I've moved, you know what I pack first? My game collection and my consoles. And now I have so many because I've lived here so long. Scene clear. Oh, you saved this many fairies. You fairy saving motherfucker. Has anybody ever played Fairy Fencer F for the PS3? Okay, after this is cinematic, we're going to close this one down. And BRG, I believe that... Let me go check. Before we go anywhere, I'm going to check. I'm going to do a quick price check on what this is rolling for. If there are even any copies for sale.
Majesty, Your Imperial Highness, I'm sorry to disturb you. We have begun our final approach to Owato. I have just received an urgent communique from the front, stating that 2 of our critical parts supply troops have been discovered to be missing from the garrison.
Missing?
And the reason? It is under investigation.
It is under investigation.
Send replacements at once. Issue an advisory to the military police.
Alright, let's go out to the eBays. Okay, I just went out to eBay real quick. Sorry about the black screen. I don't know. It was just like, you know, OBS is funny when you click away. But doesn't this remind you of Panzer Dragoon? I mean, it is just nuts, bro. Yes, I've paid 100. Anything over 100, and I'm like, you're not a millionaire, bro. Come on now. 250 new in a box, in-box Steel Battalion. Well, yeah, but you got the controller, bro. Yeah, you do. Oh, he did an unboxing of it. Very nice. So, Elemental Gearbolt. There is a copy out there from Japan for $30. But it's $150 for the American version. So, Baltimore Retro Gaming. Why is it easier to play? Why is the Japanese version easier to play? This is like the Panzer Dragoon of light guns, bro. You kind of need this game now? So do I. But I think we lost. Did we lose Baltimore? Baltimore. Why is this one easy? Why is the Japanese version easier to play? You got all the fairies, bitch. Yeah, think about that. Light gun game, fantasy, light gun game. When you put Panzer Dragoon and light gun together in a fantasy RPG light gun shooter, it's like, can I please have a copy? Thank you very much. It's an expensive game though. It's at least 150, if not 160 for a domestic copy. There are Japanese versions of it, and it's not as nice either. It's just like,
don't you think now is the time to attack the traitorous rebels of the Republic?
Your Majesty, perhaps it would be prudent to lower your voice.
Then listen closely. The women of the Republic are as beautiful as your mother.
no, I did not.
Excuse me. I must be going.
Oh, okay. Hey, BRG, let me know, bro. Why is the Japanese version of Elemental Gearbolt easier to play? Why did you say it's easier to play? Just because of the price, you mean? You mean it's easier to play because it's cheap? Or it's easier to play because the gameplay is different?
Don't let it worry you, Majesty.
Can't you address me some other way? You're older than me.
Can't you address me some other way? Bleh.
What you need is not an elder.
Dude, Baltimore's a bad area. Get out of the city. Dude, it's like ancient technologies and all kinds of things. Bring about the plans that I've laid through. There's a brain in here. Holy shit, it's a brain. The Crypt of Despair. This game is classic, man. This game is classic. DGC, good luck with the move, bro. Keep us posted. Oh, they jacked up the difficulty for North America? I thought Japanese games were too hard for Americans because we're fat and lazy. I know what you want, American. You want extra cheese. I gotta go. Bye. All right, we're closing it down soon anyway. We love you guys. Elemental Gearbolt, awesome game. You would think. All right, be safe out there, bro. We're going to run off. I'm going to run off on y'all. Peace. This is LVO Tour. Fancy action now. What's on the gaming table? A little surprise. Elemental Gearbolt review.